Hello everyone and welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. Today I will show you how I painted this cute little foxy eye, and except for it, this is something that you can use when painting any animal eye. And for that I did use this Centenaire watercolor paper. This is 100% cotton 300 GSM watercolor paper. For the watercolors I did use Sennelier, and for the colors I used yellow ochre and blue Indanthrene. Also, I used white nights and colors Sepia and burnt sienna. And from Rubens Floral set, I used Chinese red. For the brushes, I used this Panart No. 8 mop brush, Raphael No. 8 round brush, and Panart No. 2 detail brush. Also, I did use masking fluid to mask out some details in the eye, and lastly I used Micron Pigma ink pen 005 to finish off the eye. So without further ado, let's get to it. And I do like to start with adding just a little bit of the masking fluid, just one reflection of the light on the pupil and also on the lower lid. Just again a reflection of the light, and that's all the masking fluid that I will be adding to the eye. When the masking fluid dried, I will be adding a little bit of the yellow ochre around the eye. I did not wet my paper, and now I'm just painting wet on wet with some burnt sienna just right around the eye. I did leave it to bleed and just blend, and then adding a little bit more of the burnt sienna to make it a little bit more bright. Also painting the nose bridge between the eyes. You can also spread a little bit of that burnt sienna. And as it dries, it will become lighter, so you can just add as many layers as you like. I like to make it quite bright and saturated with the burnt sienna around my fox's eyes. I did leave it to dry, and now I'm just gonna add a little bit more of the yellow ochre and a little bit more of the burnt sienna. Again, around the eyes to make it even more bright. And just rinsing my brush and softening the edges. And now I'm mixing a little bit of the sepia, some Chinese red, and blue Indanthrene. To create quite dark mixture, almost black. I did leave it to dry, and now that everything around the eye is dry, I'm gonna paint in the eye. So just using this quite dark mixture. I don't like to use black because it's just a flat color in my opinion for the eye, and when you mix your colors, your black, you have a little bit more of the depth. Especially because I'm gonna be lifting a little bit of the pigment, and that mixture just gives a beautiful tone when you lift your pigments. And just underneath that little dot that I left with the masking fluid, I'm gonna lift and just make that one white shine even brighter. And just in a circular motion, lifting that pigment. You can see that some of the pigment is left on the paper. And also adding a little bit of the burnt sienna because I do want this eye to look a little bit brownish. And on top of the black that I painted, this burnt sienna just gives a nice brownish tone. Also spreading on the back for some more details, and then on the top I will just rinse my brush, and then just slightly with just barely wet brush, I'm gonna soften that edge on the top just to place the eye in the eye socket to make it look like it's not just standing on top of the head, but it is inside of the eye socket. A little bit more of the burnt sienna around the eye. A little bit of that dark mixture. And I did leave it to dry. And now again that it's fully dry, I'm going to use this Micron 005 ink pen to do the eyebrows. And also just to clean up some edges. I will remove the masking fluid. And right now, again, with that ink pen, I'm just going to finish off the eye by just cleaning again the edges around that white. And with that, I'm done with the eye. So guys, I hope this was helpful, and you can definitely use this if you paint any animal eyes, just those few simple steps, how to paint them. And if you're interested for the full-time, real-time tutorial, painting both this snowman and a little fox, I do have it on my Patreon, so I will link it in the description box if you would like to check it out. Thank you so much guys for joining me today. If you haven't still, please do subscribe to my channel. I have many tutorials also here, and I'm sure you will find something for yourself. And again, thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye!